Getting beat up by spreadsheets in your brewery? Don't let those dumb pivot tables bully you around. Get rid of the spreadsheets and the other clunky brewery software and get Ollie, the smart and affordable way to manage your brewery. Learn more at getollie.com.
What's happening, guys? How's everybody doing today? All right, we'll chill a little bit, give some people a little bit more time to get logged in and get ready to roll. So I'm based here in Kansas City, Missouri, so it's only 4 o'clock here. And yeah, I'm ready for a beer. In the meantime, we'll give the all right, we'll thank some sponsors real quick. Arrive POS, White Labs, Katie over there always takes care of us. And then River Drive Cooperage. Thanks, guys. Appreciate all the money so we can do these things. So all right. All right, well, let's go ahead and get going. So my name is James Stutsman. I work for the Independent Brewers Alliance, but I've been in the beer business a long time. And today we're going to talk about 5 strategies to save time and money when you don't have time. So we'll talk about how to save time, how to save money, and increase profits. So let's get rolling. All right, a little bit about me. So here's me spending Saturday night trubbing a tank, pouring, screwing up a pump and covering myself in beer, and then an actual fun picture of something we won at a competition locally. So my first job in beer was with a local brewery here in town, Kansas City Beer Company, as their sales and marketing director. Got my into the industry. This was back in the day when it was impossible to get a job in beer, and then after a few years working for them, helping them grow their business, I decided that Reinheitsgebot beer is amazing, but you know what's even better? Oh, baby, hops. So I went and started working for Deschutes Brewery as a market manager, ran a couple states for them, and managed 34 distributor houses over those couple states. So that was awesome. And then I decided to go into all the debt and start my own brewery. The co-founder, I was the marketing director, CEO, sales director, head brewer, a little bit of everything and anything, cleaning toilets, trubbing tanks, whatever the world needed. So been in this business a long time, and it's been really, really fun. So let's see here. All right. So this is kind of where this all started. It all started when I was thinking, everybody in this world, if you're small to medium-sized brewery, you're wearing too many hats and not enough time. And saving money sounds great, but that's just more time you got to spend, and that's hard. So whether you're having a fun world where your forklift dies and you got to get the grain out so you can mash in for the next brew, or if it's a new keg day. Apparently I loved new keg day that day. So that's a little fun and awkward. Or if you're doing working nights because you got to do an on-prem activation so you can sell more beer. We all wear way too many hats, and it's hard out there. So how do we actually do this? Let's get into it. So here's how we can save you some money. All right. Friends are awesome. Friends rock. The brewing industry is filled with amazing people that are here to help you and us all succeed. So it's not what you know, but it's who you know. Reach out to friends in the industry. When we first started up in 2019 at City Barrel, I didn't know anybody. I knew some people, but I didn't know a lot. And man, did we pay a lot for all of our supplies. So anywhere from, and this was 2019 when there was a citrus shortage. At one point in time, we were paying $28 and $30 a pound for Citra. And when you're, doing 3.5, 4 pounds per barrel dry hop on a hazy IPA, good God, your cost of goods are so bad. So that went on for a couple years. And we made $0 on our best-selling beer. So that was awesome. until some friends over at Central Standard Brewing in Wichita, shout out, you guys are awesome, reached out. And we were chatting one day, and they were like, yeah, talk to these guys over at Hollingberry. So I was able to talk to some guys over there and get some great pricing. But at that point in time, I was new. I had never heard of them before. I didn't know that was an option. I just thought you had to buy everything spot. So reached out, and friends of the industry will help you out. So find out what other people are paying. Have conversations. Buy them a beer. Find out what they're paying for grain. Find out what they're paying for malt. Paying for their yeast. Where they're getting it all. Find out who's a good vendor and with good pricing and customer service, because that's another thing that you're going to hear me talk about. Is there are definitely some vendors that have great pricing, but man, the customer service is terrible, and it makes it so much more work, which defeats the purpose of saving the money in the first place. And then the other big thing is recommendations from trusted brewers are huge. Yeah, that was not exactly the greatest verbiage there. All right, so next thing, state guilds. That's been a huge resource for us. So here's a fun picture from a collab brew that the Missouri State Brewers Guild down at Rockwell Brewing in St. Louis a little while back. Love their fooders, always good times. Most states have really active brewers guilds. They can really help you out. So reach out, find out if they have preferred vendors. Do those preferred vendors give guild members discounts? A lot of times they do. So lean on your local guilds and find out what you can do and how you can get help from them. I know my Missouri Brewers Guild has been really, really helpful over the years, and I know there's lots of other success stories with leaning on that. All right, next thing, current vendors. No one is safe. So it was a few years ago where this kind of all started for me. Is I got tired of the price increase letters. I got tired of the hey, guess what? Everything's terrible in the world, and so therefore your prices are going up yet again. So I got to a point to where we were already a small brewery, working your butt off, and I just went down my P&L and looked at my top spends, and I decided to revamp everything. I got my starting point was I'm looking at all my top spends, and I'm gonna get 3 quotes from 3 different vendors, and I'm going to see what I can do. I'm going to put them against each other, and I'm going to see what I can do to help myself out. Because if you're just playing over-the-counter rates, man, it's brutal. It's very expensive. So I started out and, went through every spend I had. Malts, hops, yeast, cans, labels, pack texts, anything and everything, POS. I went through and went down the whole laundry list of getting quotes for everybody. And then the other thing is, if you're happy with the vendor you have, but not the pricing, negotiate. We already talked a little bit about talking to your friends in the industry to find out what they're paying. There's tons of podcasts out there that, brewers will talk about their pricing. So, whenever I heard how much people were paying for silos versus bagged, I was like, all right, well then that's leverage. I have information. I can go talk to my preferred vendors and see if they can work with me. So don't be afraid to negotiate. These sales reps and all these people, they're used to this. That's not gonna be anything personal. So do what you can. Negotiate with your vendors that you are happy with. And then last but not least, don't be afraid to make changes to new vendors. It's like buying car insurance. Switching helps you save. And especially in today's world, everybody's looking for savings. Everybody's looking for deals. So don't get stuck with just using the same vendor that you've used forever because he's a good guy. That's great, but that doesn't help your bottom line. The big thing that I learned was for every $1 we spend, we had to make 4. And you know what? It's a lot easier to save $1 than it is to sell that much extra beer, that much extra food, whatever the case may be. So saving dollars as opposed to trying to sell as much as humanly possible to make up for that $1 that you didn't save is a lot easier. All right. Then let's talk contract. So number 4 here, contract what you can. Some companies will let you contract, some will not. but I will say there's a little bit of caveats there. I mean, everybody's been burnt by this before, so be careful. Don't overextend yourself. When you're talking contracting to get cheaper rates on things, this is not the time for egos to drive the decision making. Look at your prior year's numbers and gauge what this year will do. If you are brand new and you don't have any prior year numbers, find someone local that's your size and become friends. Find out what they're, how much hops they're going through, how much grain they went through, just whatever you're looking into. Find some comparisons in your market, become friends with people, and find out, get some information. And then once you have those numbers, I always recommend reduce that number by 20%. Almost everybody that you contract with, whether it be hops, malts, whatever the case may be, they're happy to let you buy more than what you contract. It's when you don't go through all of the product that you contract, that's when you run into trouble. And that's when at the end of the year, then you've got to pay a big bill that you weren't expecting. So reduce that number by 20% or more, whatever you feel safe doing. And like I said, 9 times out of 10, the contract that you're working with, the vendor you're working with, will be happy to sell you more than what you originally thought. So do what you can with that, but don't get too crazy. This is not the time to be ego driven. And then last but not least, co-ops. So where I started was, like I was saying before, I was going down the road of trying to find new vendors, and I wanted to get 3 new vendors quotes for everything in my P&L. And that was a hellacious project. Trying to get sales guys to call you back, trying to get information, trying to negotiate pricing, trying to make sure that these are vetted contractors. So the amount of cardboard companies I talked to about case trays that had no idea what the dimensions of a 24 loose was, or 12 ounce or 16 ounce. They just had absolute no information about the beer industry. So they were terrible to work with. And then, so finding good vendors is a huge pain. So one of the things that I was really happy about whenever I started working with the IBA is that you get amazing collective buying power. So like I said before, not only did I help start City Barrel Brewing Company in Kansas City, but now I'm working for the IBA, Independent Brewers Alliance. So, and how I found out about these guys was, well, going through that process, I eventually found that one of my brewer friends was like, hey, reach out to these guys. We're getting great pricing on a couple different programs. And so I reached out. I was skeptical at first, and then I started negotiating and talking with them, and it was awesome. So the IBA has a little over 600 brewers, and then we go on behalf of the brewers to these can suppliers and keg suppliers and hops, yeast, literally everything in the world, and work with your buying power to get small to medium-sized breweries better pricing. And that was a huge thing. The other thing that was great was these companies offer vetted vendors. So with the IBA, all of our vendors come from the brewers that are in the group. So you're not getting somebody that's, terrible customer service that doesn't know the beer industry. You're talking with these suppliers who are well known, and they know what you're doing. They know what you're going through. So that's another huge thing for me. And then the other thing is discounts. Oh my gosh. If you're a small to medium, and if you're from 1,000, 3,000, 10,000 barrel breweries, you just unfortunately don't have the buying power that these big breweries do. And that sucks. It's so painful to sit there and do everything you can to, have the most efficient brew humanly possible, the best canning runs, the best packaging. And then at the end of the day, you're still barely scraping by because you're a small brewery who doesn't have huge buying power. Through these brewing co-ops, there are opportunities for great buying discounts. So if you can save 10% on yeast, that's awesome. You can save 7% on spot hops. Oh my God, sign me up. You can save 7% off the fruit you're putting in that crazy fruited sour. Yes, please. So these are all things that can huge have impacts to your bottom line, and that's a great way that we can that can be helped. And then last but not least, so the IBA is a great option. There are a bunch of other cooperatives out there. There's small local regional ones. You can also create your own. I know a lot of breweries around the country that have created their own co-ops, working with different brewers and creating that buying power by working with your friends. So, if you want to put together 5-10 breweries together, so that way you're buying, you have much more volume to purchase through, go for it. Or like I said, or just join one of the regional ones or one of the national ones. But there are lots of good options out there that, through my experience in the last 8-9 years running a brewery, it was huge. So I really recommend looking into that. And then last but not least, guys, this one's pretty short and sweet, but thank you. It's been really fun. I've been a huge fan of Craft Beer Professionals for the entire time since it's been out and about, and these seminars are always great. So it's an honor to present, and hopefully, like I said, these 5 different options. I can help you save some money and increase your profitability, make your life easier, make you have to work less, and finally be able to brew more pilsners so we can all be happy. So here's my contact info. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Look forward to talking with you, and hopefully see you guys at CBC and also in New Orleans at the next conference. All right. Cheers, guys.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this session, we'd love to see you in real life. We host in-person workshops across the country for craft beer professionals just like you that are held in some of the most exciting beer destinations around. These immersive events are designed to help you grow and connect with others. You'll meet peers from across the country and leave with actionable strategies for success. Connection has never been more important, and you can learn more at cbpconnects.com. Cheers. See you there.